still setting up on my end. So
oh, it says we're live on my end.
I know. That's why these always look ridiculous, because it says right now that it's still setting up and I can't see anything. Okay, we're definitely live. Yay. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I am Lisa Zimmer, doTERRA Blue Diamond. All that means to you is I love to help lots and lots of people in doTERRA. I love to help them learn how to use our products, what they should order, why, how amazing they are. But I also love to teach people that use doTERRA how to start a doTERRA business and how to do it simply and successfully. So I have a Facebook group called Lisa Zimmer Essential Oils Biz Tips. And that's where I'm live right now. You might be watching this replay on YouTube. If so, please join our Facebook group so that you can get access to all the free training videos and free documents in our files tab. We have tons and tons and tons of stuff for free for you. We do have tools that we sell, but please, please, please take advantage of all of our free tools. All right, so today we have a special guest, and I want to thank Tracy for coming on today. Tracy has been amazing in the development of the Make and Take handout called Thank You for Your Service. So this was Tracy's brainchild over a year ago, right? Yeah. Tracy reached out to me over a year ago about this topic. Could even be longer than that by now, probably a year and a half. I think it was right about a year when I opened my file of projects I really want to work on but haven't had time to get to. And when you reached out to me, I was like, I swear I have that. She's like, yeah, I sent it to you like over a year ago. I'm like, okay. It was right at our 1 year anniversary when you emailed it to me.
Just before leadership last year.
Yes. And so here's what's awesome about that, right? You guys hear me say all the time, we can do this better if we do it together. And so Tracy is a perfect example of that, right? She went out of her way to say, hey, I really think we have an opportunity here to help people. I would love to collaborate with you on that and get the message out. And together in the last couple months, Tracy and I were able to compile the thank you for your service. That's one thing I really want to promote in doTERRA is teamwork, collaboration, because I couldn't put this together without Tracy. Tracy probably could have put it together, but I was able to make it pretty and get it out to more people, right? And so work together with other people. You may not have all the skill sets to get something accomplished, but all you need is the idea and to find other people that are passionate about it too, and then these things happen. Just like your doTERRA business, right? It's the same platform. So I want to thank Tracy for working to make this happen. And the thank you for your service handout works for make and takes, works for just handing it out to folks that could use it. You can screenshot it and send it. A million ways to use our make and takes, not just make and takes, right? So we have people that follow us that say, I don't want to do make and takes. Awesome. You still want to collect our make and take handouts because they're going to become very, very important in your business for educating your existing members, for sharing the recipes for these topics with existing members. Screenshot it if you have someone that says, hey, I'm an emergency responder and I'm struggling with anxiousness, sad feelings, grief. What would be good for me? You can screenshot your thank you for your service handouts, send it to them with the screenshot of the trifold panel of the kit to pick from, and the handout tells them what kit to pick, right? So it's a no-brainer. And how to enroll. Boom. 2 graphics sent to them, and they will log in, enroll themselves, right? And that wouldn't happen if we didn't have, I'm going to call you an expert, Tracy, right? Experts for these topics, right? That's why we partner with people who know more about these topics than we do, so that you know the information you're sending is valid and that people in that situation contributed. So Tracy, I'm gonna ask you to share your story. Tracy's a premier in doTERRA, but I want you to tell more about yourself and your story and how this desire to collaborate with us came to be.
Okay, so I'll do this as calmly as I can. I get super excited and very passionate. It's very heartfelt for me. So I joined the military, and I was Army, and did 9 years, 2 tours in Iraq. I also married a soldier, and so I have that somewhat unique experience as well. And so we have our invisible battles and then our physical battles. And so something that I have dealt with is in my personal life is I've got PTSD, depression, anxiety. I have physical pain, arthritis in my knees, my back, my neck. I mean, when you're deployed, you get pretty broken. So the essential oils have been really, really amazing for both my husband and I. And then our family, treating us, helping us to
support your body naturally, right?
Yes, thank you.
Because we don't use these to prevent, treat, or cure disease, but they're great for supporting us emotionally.
They are huge for support.
Yep.
And so I do things that I never thought that I would be able to do again. The Army was getting ready to put me on a permanent profile for no running again, because what would happen is I'd go for my 2 or 3 mile run. And then 2 or 3 hours later, when my body cooled down, I couldn't move, couldn't sit, couldn't stand, couldn't walk, couldn't nothing without looking like an 80-year-old person. And so because of our supplements and our vitamins and whatnot, I can run and chase my kids and my chickens and my dogs, and I can keep up with everything. And then the way that the oils have supported my husband and I both mentally and emotionally has been amazing. There have been huge transformations. And so we are definitely in a better place. And still, we're not perfect. We're still going through it, but we're definitely in a better place.
And that's what we want to hear. We want to keep sharing those success stories, right? Because we all know someone, whether it's an emergency responder for, ambulance, police, firemen, those who serve, that have been deployed, currently are deployed, whatever it is, right? We want to build our audiences, our prospects, our builders' confidence that we do have the tools to support everyone. And so that's what I love about this. We're not going to go through all the recipes on thank you for your service, but Tracy works really, really hard at studying the emotional benefits, not just the physical benefits of these oils, to compile these recipes. When I first got these recipes, I was like, what? I remember because it was hilarious. And then, so my role then was to make them smell good too, right? So she had very specific roles on, hey, this works, and doesn't smell so great, so let's tweak that one. But she worked really hard at studying the physical and emotional benefits of each oil to compile these recipes, and then you used them for a while. Well, clearly a year.
Yeah, a couple of them. So, and I did some research with a couple of therapists. So my personal therapist, as well as a friend of mine who's also a therapist, and they both deal with vets. And so I said, well, what are some of the things that maybe I'm not dealing with, but is typical among other vets? And so angry was one of them. There's a lot of anger issues, and then staying present and grounded was another really big issue. And so the other ones, the stay strong, the get physical, and that at ease, those were easy for me to figure out. But the other two, I needed something else a little bit. So I definitely did some research and some homework.
I love it. And so when people get our make and takes, the one thing I want you to do, so you're going to get, if you go to our website, lisazimmer.net/shop, and you get the thank you for your service. A lot of our tools now are just rolling out the US version. They're good for every market. You just have to edit it. So I thank you for your service. Very little editing is required for other markets. Maybe the name of a blend, and I don't even think we hardly used any blends.
Balance was in here, and that should be the only blend. Oh, Aroma Touch.
Aroma Touch. Yep. So if you're in another market, all you do is edit these with a free PDF editor and change the name of that. Not a big deal, right? So the reason being is it is an incredibly huge job to run things through compliance and the licensing department. This isn't just compliance. I have to run through compliance, licensing, and marketing. So please purchase the US, that's the one that's available, and just edit it yourself for your country. It's available for everyone. It's just not physically possible to get through all the different departments and get these launched and approved for you to use if we go through every single different department's country department. All right, so I want to point that out because people always say, well, what about this country? What about that country? Just get the one that's on the website, you'll be fine. And so what I want you to learn how to do is you're doing these handouts, and I may throw you on the spot for like the emotional benefits of I'll just have you rattle off emotional benefits of an oil that you might know off the top of your head, Tracy, because
Okay.
you're good at that. Some of them I know you know. I'll let you pick. But so for example, right, you buy this handout and you're like, oh, what does let's see. What's one oil that you know the emotional benefits of on this handout super well?
I'm pulling out my my book right now to look because I was like,
I feel like it was Siberian fur because I was like, tell me about Siberian fur.
Dang it. So it looks like I'm kind of out of luck at the moment, but that is okay. So wild orange was definitely a calming, easing one. And balance, of course, is my personal favorite. It's one that I always have a backup for my backup because I have to have it in my house. And so, so if we could talk about at ease specifically,
yeah, that'd be great.
Balance is in there for grounding. This is the one for anxious feelings, for calming, for a lot of veterans and first responders and stuff. They suffer with nightmares because we've all seen some really gnarly stuff. And so the balance was good for the grounding and kind of reducing some of that anxiousness a little bit. And then the wild orange is kind of the same thing, very calming. And the juniper berry I wanted in there because I know that it kind of assists with those nightmares to help offset them a little bit. And so that was kind of the purpose for the oils that were in there. So
here's how you're going to know that, right? So we're not going to do a handout and then tell you every single thing that every single recipe is for, right? We allude to it in the names and the applications. But what we want you to do as the teacher of these is to grab a book. Grab your emotions and essential oils book. That's available on Amazon, right? I don't have any special links for those to get you discounts on that one, but just go grab it. It was super important in the compilation of every single one of our handouts, the emotional as well as the physical benefits. So you don't need to message me and say, hey, what is, cool your jets for? Look it up. Not because I don't want to help you, right? That has nothing to do with it. Clearly it's for cooling your jets. But what I want everyone to learn and start expressing in your education on them is there's a million uses for this, right? So say I use at ease, right, for calming or sleep issues or nightmares or night terrors or whatever. But what's really cool is to be able to help, whether it's in a class setting or on its own, right? Your members and prospects get access to a book and help share with them, right? So even if you're in class and someone says, well, what else is balance for? Say, excellent question, Susie Q. You say, what else is at ease for? Excellent question, Susie Q. I'm going to grab my book and show you how we look it up. Because it's so important that I don't tell them what balance is for, juniper berry is for, right? Because when I do, off the top of my head, I just trained them that I'm the resource. No. I've seen, right? The top leaders of the top leaders of the top leaders do a presentation. And when someone asks the question about, oh, what's that for? She says, I don't know. Let's look it up in our book. Well, of course she knows. She's been doing this 11 years, right? But what she's doing is teaching her audience where they can find the answer. And you need to be that way too as a builder, leader, sharer, whatever you are, right? Don't be the one to say, oh, it's good for this, right? And so open the book. Turn to balance. Say balance is great for, and read it, right? If you're online and going live publicly, make sure it's compliant, which is why we didn't dig into all the things that this handout is good for, because this video has to stay compliant. We let you know, Tracy let you know what her physical and emotional experiences have been for her and her family, but she clearly communicated, because this is public, that oils do not prevent, treat, or cure disease, but that they use them to help support their emotional health and physical health, right? And that's how you'll speak online compliantly. In person, tell people what the oils really do. Read from the book. Tell them that balance is good for A, B, C, D, and then amaze them with a lot. Don't read every single oil and all the things that are good for on the handout, right? You'll overwhelm people. But just let them know this is why we use these oils, because they're good for so many things. And the best way to start is with a starter kit, because they do so many things.
They were put together.
Tracy, what else would you like to share with folks before we wrap up? I know getting the suicide prevention hotline on the bottom of the handout was very important to you.
Yep, it was. So, because 22 a day is unacceptable, and that's just the military. That's not our first responders. That's not anybody else. So, yeah, having that big. And so along that line, the Stay Strong blend is kind of for those individuals who have those demons that they're dealing with. And so I want to make sure that you know that's a blend that needs to be used twice a day, every day. No ifs, no ands, no buts. Twice a day, every day. And that's because the oils in there are really powerful, and we need to, consistency is key. We'll leave it with that. Consistency is key. And so the more you use it, the less, the more their body is supported.
So I want to point that out, Tracy, because that's a very important factor for all of our products, but especially, you know, when something's super important like that, right? Emotional and mental health, right? And so consistency is key. So one of the things I want to help builders learn how to answer questions, right? People say, well, how often should I use it? How often should I use it? How often should I use it? Make it simple for people. And what Tracy just said is perfect for just about any product, right? Other than shampoo, you're not going to shampoo your hair twice a day. But any oil, pretty much almost any supplement, make it easy for people. So my standard answer is AM and PM. I teach everybody on my team, unless it's like an energizing product, I teach everybody, put it next to your bed. You're going to see it twice a day. You're going to have a visual stimulus or visual trigger twice a day, AM and PM. When do I use the At Ease? AM and PM. When do I use the Stay Strong? AM and PM. When do I use Digestzen? AM and PM. When do I use, right? Help make it easy for people, because if you're super creative and custom in your directions for things, that makes people think that every product is super custom and special. So teach people the easiest way to make a roller, to fill a diffuser, to don't come up with special rules because that thinks you feel like it makes you look more educated. What it does is it makes people think this process is complicated, and it's not. And when they think it's complicated, they're afraid to use products without asking you first. And so like Tracy said, twice a day, teach everybody how to use this stuff twice a day. They can use it more, but general rule of thumb, until they get their feet wet and get comfortable with stuff, twice a day, AM and PM. Sounds good.
Yep.
I have quite a few topics to cover today, Tracy. You are welcome to stay on and contribute. You're welcome to, I know you're super busy. And so you're more than welcome to hit leave meeting when you're done. But I just wanted to thank you again for helping us comprehend the importance of this topic. Yeah. And for putting so much of your passion and time and energy into helping make this, thank you for your service handout, so special.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. And when you guys were enrolling people or talking to them about this handout, or any of our vets or service members like that, law enforcement, they're just people too. Talk to them like people. There's nothing scary about them. They have emotions. They have body aches and pains just like you do. So don't be afraid of them. Yeah. So it's
especially men.
Yes, especially right? Men. There's nothing scary about us.
What happens?
We have our own special crazy, but
yeah. What happens a lot of times is if people have had a negative experience, whether it's with a spouse or a family member or a friend who's male and made fun of their oils or whatever, they let that hold them back from talking to more men because they feel like, oh, they're going to be, oh my goodness, we have so many men in doTERRA, so many men on my team, right? My husband teaches, educates, does all that. We just went to the Truman retreat, right? And it was probably, I don't know, 25% men doing the business. And so we want to make sure that you have the confidence to know that regardless of the person's status, social status, gender, ethnicity, history, it doesn't matter. These products work for everybody. Just help them get the products.
Yeah. I mean, 95% of the time, you know more about essential oils and our products than they do. And, you know, for the other ones, well, you know what? We have hundreds of thousands of papers that are researched and documented by big journals. So we've got the backing. It's not just, it's no longer the snake oils and the voodoo stuff. It's back. It's research. Yeah.
That's what I love. My son says that all the time. Anytime he's like being sarcastic and making fun of us, he's like, yeah, science. I'm like, okay. Okay, funny guy. But now we got that in doTERRA, right? When people are like, oh, blah, 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 blah. You know, science, right?
Yeah.
So thank you for coming on today, Tracy. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to dig into these other topics here. And so I'm going to send you a quick message. I got a little present for you too. So.
Okay. Aw, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for all your hard work.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, so stick with me, folks. I've got quite a few topics I want to cover today. I'm going to check my phone quick to see questions that you might be posting. All right, I'm going to see. Wendy says, hey, LZ, there are a million ways to use the Make and Take handouts. They've been the best tool ever. Yay. I can't even begin to say how many times I've sent them with welcome letters. Oh, genius. Okay, so we want to talk about some tips and tricks for welcome letters for new members, right? And here's Wendy's. She screenshots a topic that might work for her new members. And she sends the screenshot of the Make and Take handout to her new members, right? So if you have a new member that you know is policeman, fireman, emergency responder, veteran, serving the military, whatever, thank you for your service is a great one to screenshot and send to them. We're going to talk about Dawn Dinh's genius idea this week on tweaking the goodie bag process, how she's tweaked it, right? So again, in doTERRA, we are all better when we work together, right? I'm glad you all love the stuff that we do, but when you have tweaks to it that can make it better, tell us. It does not hurt my feelings. My goal in doTERRA is to help us all do this better. So I'm going to talk to you about Dawn Dinh's tweaks to her goodie bag process and welcome letter in just a minute. All right, I won't be able to get through all the questions and I don't want to take up the time for that. So I will come back and answer questions later. What I'm doing is pulling questions that I've seen posted in the last couple of days, and that creates the topic for this video. All right, so get your thank you for your service handout from lisazimmer.net/shop. Scroll down and click on Make and Takes. It's available in the US shop, but it works for all markets. You just edit it with a free PDF editor or with a PDF editor that you have, okay? So there's very little editing required. We don't put prices on these for a reason. We want you to communicate that to the customer. Plus the prices are different depending on the country. All right, so I want to talk about Dawn Dinh's goodie bag situation. I also want to talk today about, if I have time, identifying people on your team to be builders and also relaunching your business. How to do what I did, right? I built to diamond the normal way, taught a bazillion 101 classes, and that's how a lot of us still do it in doTERRA, right? But I taught a bazillion 101 classes. I taught like 77 of them in 60 days, was burnt out. My team was so tired of systems. You know, we bought Edge Success and Share Success and live naturally. We bought a zillion tools. We literally tried every tool, every make and take, everything. And it was still just not quite what I saw as best for me. So that's why I created my own tools, right? Well, so when I launched these, my team's like, oh boy, here we go again, another system, right? How do you relaunch yourself when you've been stuck? How do you relaunch yourself when you've already used every system and your team's like rolling their eyes at, oh no, another idea? So first of all, keep it simple. Second of all, be honest. Go to your team and be honest. So for me, I was able to be honest. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. We just came out with these trifolds. We have access to these new tools, right? And it makes it so much easier. I want to tell you about it. I want to help you get them. Let's try it, right? It's that simple. Tell people you're excited and what's working for you. Just that's how you get people excited about doTERRA, right? You tell them what you use and what's working for you. Hello? Oh, hey, Mr. Zimmer's home. All right, so same thing with the tools, right? Get the trifolds on the website. Use them out in public. Use them for everyday real life, right? So Zimmer was just, where were you? You were at the school, right?
Yes, I was.
So he was just at the school, right? So hopefully he had his trifolds with him. So if the opportunity to have a conversation about doTERRA came up, he could whip out a trifold and hand it off to someone, right? You can use the trifold to teach your classes or the natural solutions brochure, and then announce your make and takes, right? We went from having 1, 2, 3 people show up to our Essential Oils 101 classes to our very first make and take, we had 16, right? Because it was something new, it was something fun, the pressure was off, it was a come and get $5 products. But while they were there, we enrolled them, right? So don't be afraid to, can you hold off on that for a minute? Don't be afraid to say, hey guys, I found these, I want to share them with you. I'd love for you to hear more about them. Here's how it's working for me. You're not going to stand there and stare at me the whole time, are you? Come say hi.
Beautiful.
Just leave the groceries. Say hi, Mr.
I can give
Zimmer.
you a doTERRA moment if you'd like from
You
the
can?
school. Yeah,
Okay.
A couple things that tie in. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
All right. So 2 things from this morning.
Your head's being chopped off.
So I went to the middle school. They had this project where kids put together these programs talking about how they can better the community.
Wow.
And so we listened to those programs, but we were supposed to be like a Shark Tank. Well, when you're in a room full of middle schoolers, you don't really want to be a shark, right?
Mhm.
So what I decided to do was to give positive reinforcing feedback.
Okay.
And isn't that something we always have to do with our builders all the time, whether it's on how to use a make and take, how to do different things, to train yourself how to give positive feedback on how to move forward on these things. Well, the very last program was on metal straws.
Oh, stainless steel straws.
So that opened the door for me to actually talk to the teachers that were there.
Create your own opportunities, folks. Identify and keep creating your own opportunities.
They said, Mr. Mayor, this is one that doesn't pertain to you so much. You can go now if you'd like. And I said, but little do you know, this pertains to me more than anything. Because with the essential oils, you want to use these stainless steel straws. And here's why. And they gave me an opportunity to talk to them about it. So always look for a door.
High five. Always look for a door. That was a door. There are doors of opportunity everywhere in this business. Are you paying attention? Are you opening that door? Are you creating your own opportunities? Mr. Zimmer could have kept his mouth shut about essential oils because he could have said, oh, I'm at the middle school, I don't want to be inappropriate. He could have had all kinds of mindset issues on why he shouldn't and talk himself out of talking about essential oils, but he didn't because he's a leader, right? That's what gets you to the higher ranks in doTERRA. That's what gets you to help more people. That's what gets you to have more testimonials. That's what gets you to be successful in doTERRA, is creating your opportunities and not letting those little voices in your head hold you back, right? Why did he talk about essential oils and stainless steel straws today? Because he could. And he should. He should be planting seeds everywhere he goes, no matter what. He didn't then say, buy essential oils for me. He just let people know that this was an opportunity. Essential oils exist, right? To infuse it into the conversation. All right. So also what's coming up, tomorrow's a very big day. Everybody know what tomorrow is? Tomorrow is April 30th. And tomorrow is the next launch of WWZD, What Would Zimmers Do to Build Their Blue Diamond Business for the next 35 days. So we launch tomorrow. Please, last call to get signed up. Last call to enroll in WWZD. It's a Facebook course. We go live 3 times a week. We record all the videos. You can watch them back. This is something that you will have access to forever as long as we're in business. And you can come back and rewatch these videos, right? So people that took the November course, the February course, they're still going back and grabbing nuggets of information because what we teach you applies to your entire business, not just business for April 30th. We teach you how to close out a month. We teach you how to launch a month. We teach you how to re-engage the middle of the month. We teach you everything that you need to be doing every single day to build your doTERRA business. We followed our own rules, right? So the first time we did it was in November, and it forced us to really do what we teach, right? And so we actually, so often in this business, we get busy and we're like, yeah, we already hit diamond by the 15th. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm really tired. I'll do that next month. And in November, we did absolutely every single thing that we teach you how to do. And our team hit blue diamond by the end of the month unexpectedly. We weren't planning on hitting blue diamond till end of 2019, maybe 2020, right? So we hit it over a year early. So very exciting when you follow through, have an accountability partner, right? We're basically one giant group of accountability partners because everyone helps each other in that group. So to join WWZD, you can go to lisazimmer.net/shop and just click on, I have 2 tabs. Once you get in there, scroll down and either click Make and Take Handouts or click the tools. And WWZD is the first one that you can pick. It's $45 for 35 days of training that you have access to. You get to keep coming back to. Please post in the comments what you love. Oh, so I just saw Carolyn's post. So Carolyn reminded me of something. Okay, something I'm super passionate about, right? As you become more and more successful in your doTERRA business, you're going to make more money. As you become more well-known and increase your influence and increase your reach in your doTERRA business, right? You'll have more influence. Both of those are amazing for business. But what I want to make sure and remind people of is no matter how much money you make, no matter how much influence you grow to have, the most important thing isn't that dollar amount, isn't how many followers you have. It's what you do with it. What are you doing with that to improve your life, to improve the lives of others around you, and to improve the world that you live in? I can tell you firsthand, I don't care how much money I make. I learned in 2011 through 2014 that it's irrelevant. It's what you do with it, what you do with your money, your influence, your time that matters, right? I was a successful real estate agent from 1999 to 2011, right? And I was lost and unfulfilled. I graded myself by, we had Rolexes. We had 3 Rolexes back then. I had 1 carat diamond earrings for each ear. I had Louis Vuitton purses. I had things. I needed things back then to fulfill me because something was missing. I hadn't learned the role of an influencer and a successful person and its true purpose at that time, right? So God stripped it all away when I got sick and we had nothing. Sold all those things to pay for medical bills, sold all those things. And guess what? We were happier than we'd ever been in our whole lives when we went back to nothing, right? When we found the true focus. So I started advocating and helping people to fight against fluoroquinolone antibiotics. That's what disabled me and put me in a wheelchair with brain damage, right? And no one paid me to do that. I didn't make money doing it. I did it because it was the right thing to do. And I've been able to carry that into my doTERRA business. And I want to reinforce the need for us to do that no matter what rank we are. So the reason I'm thinking about this is we had an incredible presentation again at the Truman Retreat this last week by Tim Ballard and OUR, Operation Underground Railroad, right? And so we were able to take the beautiful blessings of doTERRA and BIZ tips, and we were able to make a generous donation to OUR. And can I tell you that that moment was the single most impactful moment in my doTERRA life so far. It was better than hitting Blue Diamond. It was better than hitting Diamond. It was better than finding my first builder. It was better than my first testimonial. It filled my heart with so much intense joy that I can't even express it. I want you to find that feeling, whether it's at $1 donation to your order every month for Healing Hands, right? We cannot make an impact and change the world if we don't put service above self. I don't care how successful you are in doTERRA. All I care about is what you're doing with it. I don't care what your rank is, right? What are you doing with it? What are you doing about it? What are you doing to change the world, right? So whether it's sharing oils with more people, that's so important. Whether it's donating to Healing Hands, donating to OUR, whatever you're doing, are you choosing to make the world a better place? My husband ran for mayor, and he sacrificed a 6-figure income to do a mayoral position. So if you don't know anything about mayoral positions, they're basically community service, right? So I don't want everyone to have to go through what we went through. I don't want you to have to lose everything in your life to find this perspective and find the joy in serving and giving back. I want you to be able to do it without having to lose everything. Trust the process. So I trust the process, right? I trusted that my husband was making a decision, and he promised me that everything would work out, right? Walking away from a great income to do a community service position, basically, right? And he was right? Because I think in a year later, he came home with me and was working full time, and we were supporting all of you, right? And that probably never would have happened. We probably would have never been able to get to the level we are at BIZ Tips and helping 28,000 people in here every day if my husband hadn't come home. He probably wouldn't have come home had he still been at that position, right? Because he wouldn't have sacrificed his $1 million retirement, and right, he wouldn't have thrown all that away to probably come home and help me with BIZ Tips, right? Because we just hadn't seen the vision or caught the vision yet. But luckily, he made that sacrifice for his community and put his community first because he knew changes need to be made and was very passionate about it. And it filled him up. I didn't totally understand that back then. I was just like, what are you doing? And he said, it needs to be done. I feel like I'm being called to do this. Our city and our community needs us. And he has made tremendous changes in this community, right? So again, he was very influential in our community. He had been a realtor with me. He had been everyone's banker. It wasn't what his title was. It was what he chose to do with it that makes him the man that he is today, which is an amazing man, right? Again, I don't care what rank you are in doTERRA. All I care about is what you're choosing to do with the success and influence that you are creating. Sorry, very passionate topic today. Okay, so I want to talk about Dawn Dinh and her geniusness in what she created. So I'm going to see if I can screen share here quick. So let me screen share and get to BIZ Tips. And I want to show you what Dawn created. So her new welcome letter includes a graphic, whether it's a text, sorry, I'm scrolling, I just had it, here we go. So if you can see the screen, Dawn created this graphic, goodie bag sample choices. So what she's doing different, right? I'm going to add this post to the announcements tab to the goodie bag step. So when I get done here, you'll be able to click announcements tab, scroll to goodie bag, and this information will be in here. Plus you can just type goodie bag in and it'll pop up, right? So what this is now, instead of just automatically sending a goodie bag with all kinds of samples in it to every new member, excuse me, Dawn is asking them to engage and reply with what they want in their goodie bag. So why is this so genius? It forces your new enrollments to engage, and they're going to pick products that they are wanting and passionate about, right? So you're not sending a deep blue muscle rub to someone who no one in the family has any pain. So that's why it's genius, because it's forcing your people to engage. So doTERRA is handing out a lot of new orphans. They've improved the orphan process. An orphan is someone who goes on doTERRA.com and enrolls without a wellness advocate. They're considered an orphan until they get assigned to someone. So you get assigned to someone in doTERRA, or they get assigned to you in doTERRA, and you know nothing about them. So rather than just sending them a goodie bag sample only to find out they accidentally enrolled or they didn't mean to enroll with that person, they meant to enroll on someone's team, right? Now qualify them first and say, hey, welcome. I've got some free goodies for you. Pick and choose what you want. If they don't respond, then you know that probably they weren't intended to be assigned to you as an accident, or they meant to enroll with a friend, right? So before you send up that goodie bag, qualify them. So what she did was she had an orphan assigned to her. So she texted that graphic and the person got really excited and she was able to start communicating with them. So a lot of you have asked, how with all these new orphans do we engage? Dawn Dinh just solved that. Goodie bag sample choices. Now you can do this with whatever you want. You can use hers, you can create your own, whatever you want. And then she also created little stickers for all of her samples. So that stickers file, it's just print your own stickers on Avery labels, is in the files tab. Okay, and I'm not sure exactly what it's called, goodie bag Avery labels or something like that, right? So it's in the files tab now. I loaded it. So Dawn, thank you for your genius. There's already 247 comments on the post about her idea. I love it. This is a perfect example of how when we work together, we all do better. If you have a genius idea in doTERRA, don't keep it to yourself, right? Share it with others, because remember, in doTERRA, their compensation plan, the better the company does, the higher our commission checks are, because they're based on shares and success of the company, right? So we all win. And so we all do better when we work together. So share your ideas, right? So that is Dawn Dinh's idea. We talked about relaunching your business. How do you introduce your team to another new system or tools? Be honest. Use them yourself. Be excited. Hey, I'm so excited. We have a new way of doing this. I did that, right? I went back to my whole team and I said, everyone, even customers on my team, I'm so excited. We have a new easy way for you to share doTERRA. Even if you're just a customer, you can hand out these trifolds and share doTERRA with your friends and family and work towards getting your doTERRA for free, right? I don't need to explain all the details until they enroll someone. All right. So then when they enroll someone, I help turn them into a share and builder. And so, for example, this month, I'd have to look back at my numbers, but I just logged in this morning and there's 3 people since I've been gone in the last week that enrolled people who never enrolled anyone before. And I didn't have to help them with anything. They used the trifold. They went to our team FAQ system and they read what to do next. 20 posts, mine might have 25 now. Anytime I have a question that's asked repeatedly, I create an FAQ post in my team's private Facebook group in the units tab. All right. So they did not need me. They were empowered and able to share doTERRA on their own. They may not be a committed and capable builder that wants to wake up and do doTERRA every single day and get to Presidential Diamond. But it doesn't mean that they're not capable of sharing doTERRA and helping us get doTERRA in every home, regardless of their level of commitment. Builders are grown, right? Builders don't land in your lap and start enrolling 40 people a month. Builders are grown. I'm going to grow those new people who are just customers and started sharing and enrolling friends, right? Obviously, they upgraded the Wellness Advocate. How they know how to do that was in the FAQ, right? That's step one. They're going to fall more in love with helping those people. And before you know it, they're going to enroll 2 people a month. They're going to have fun with that. They're going to enroll 3 people a month. They're going to teach those people how easy it was. And they're going to repeat the process. And then they're going to be duplicating. And they're going to be growing and building a business naturally without even saying, yes, I want to build a doTERRA business, right? Builders are grown. They don't land in your lap. Go grow some builders. Happy oiling.